and 5, the adult characteristic, and the description. So there is first that slightly long, slightly pigmented pubic hair that will develop until such a time that it becomes coarse, curly, and with adult distribution. And usually the adult distribution is when the pubic hair already reaches the medial thighs. So that's SMR 5 pubic hair for males. And for the penis, the first thing that happens or change that would happen would be enlargement. Or in some books, this is described as broadening of the penis. So walang elongation, it's more of the width that changes first. Then there is lengthening up to the time that the male or the boy reaches the adult size penis. And for the testicle, there is enlargement in stage 2, enlargement of the scrotum that suggests enlargement of the testicle themselves. Hindi ito hydrocele, hindi ito hernia. It's actually the testicle that is causing the enlargement of the scrotum. I'm just pointing it out kasi pag sinabi mo ang enlargement of the scrotum, it may be caused by something else, like your fluid retention, like hydrocele, or there is already hernia that is developing. So, up to again, the adult size. Just something for siguro trivia lang as far as the testicle size is concerned. For urologists, they are able to determine testicular size by comparing the testicle width in measured volume. Meron siyang parang sphere that they know what the volume is. So they compare it. So pagka pareho yung size with that particular sphere, then that is the volume of the testicle. This is for the female sexual maturity rating, pubic hair. But the similarity with the males is that when you reach your stage 5, then again is that spread to the medial aspect of your thigh, of the pubic hair. But there is that also characteristic triangular shape that is seen in females' pubic hair. And for the breast development, the very first thing that happens would be enlargement of the breast. So the breast, the papilla is here, the nipple area would be elevated as a small mound. So for the females, I think you can really relate with this. When you have that breast bud development, that is stage 2 already. And that is very important because breast bud development, stage 2, heralds puberty in females. That's when you enter puberty. What about the males? When did you enter puberty? O hindi pa? When did you enter puberty? Sa males kasi hindi masyadong punado, no? Because that's stage 2, SMR. Ano ba yung stage 2 and SMR for testicle? Enlargement of the testicle. So, marami sa atin, hindi napansin yun. Unlike in females, it's very obvious. Unless ito rin yung isang male na nag-develop ng breast, because we have gynecomastia in males brought about by estrogen influence. So it's not uncommon for adolescent males to also have some form of breast development during those times. Pero subsequently, it would regress, unlike in females. Again, trivia, that also teaches us that males would have vestigial breast tissue. And we are not exempted from breast CA. Merong male breast CA, which is more aggressive than female breast CA. Rare siya, pero possible. So there is now a gradation of changes that happens with your breast up to the time that you are in SMR 5. Okay? So just to this is breast and areola same together, enlarged. There is no distinction masyado sa mount as far as the contour is concerned until you reach stage 4. So areola and your nipple would form a secondary mound, and then the breast itself. Then you have the stage 5, which is the mature breast for females. Okay, so again, for males, the first visible sign of puberty and the hallmark of SMR2 is testicular enlargement. So it can begin as early as 9.5 years or before your 10th birthday, which we define by chronologic age yung adolescent period natin to be 10 to before the 19th birthday. So before 10 years old, pwede ka na pumasok ng puberty. This is followed by pubic hair development, then SMR3, which is the penile elongation, and the peak growth occurs during SMR4 for males. Okay. So this is all under the influence of your LH, testosterone, and then you have that development of your reproductive organs. So male puberty, and then for SMR3, this is the time that sperms may be found in the urine, and there may be nocturnal emissions. Lagi nilang sinasabing wet dreams. This is physiologic. So that is something that is something that is normal, physiologic happening for males. SMR2 or 4, so breast tissue, as I mentioned, can develop in about 40 to 65% of males. So for female puberty, you have breast bud appearance. So in females, this is even much earlier. So sabi natin, puberty for males, about 9.5 years for the 10th birthday. Pero females, it can even start at 7. So yung mga females dito, can you relate? Meron bang maaga talaga sa inyo? Or nag-reach na kayo ng 12 years old before, or 10 years old before you had the breast bud? Hindi na sagutin. So menses or menarche begins typically 3 years after your telarche. So your breast bud is the telarche. And SMR 3 to 4 at an average of 12.5 years or a range of 9 to 15 years. So the timing of menarche is determined largely by genetics. Which means if your mother had an early menarche, you probably also would have an early menarche. And each early cycles would be often unovulatory and somewhat irregular. So here you can already see that there is something that we can predict that would happen So, parang development sequence yan. That this would happen first before the other would happen. So here we can see that you need to have breast development first, your telard, bago ka mag-menard or mag-mens. So the typical range should be 3 years. So in some books it's 2 to 3 years. So meaning, if the girl had breast development at 10, you can already predict that in 2 to 3 years, that child would already have her first mens. So hindi na dapat kayo magulat. So nag-prepare mo na yun. Kung later on, magkaanak kayo, you can already prepare your daughter that nag-breastbud ka na, sooner, maybe later, meron ka na menard. The other predictable pattern here is the peak height velocity of females. When will that occur based on this? Sa females, tumangkad ba kayo muna bago kayo nag-mens? O nag-mens muna kayo bago kayo tumangkad? Kung tumangkad man. Tumangkad muna, which is true. You would have that peak growth velocity curve first before the menses. And the timing is about a year prior. So meaning, you have breast development, you have your peak height velocity, and then your mens. That is something that is constant. So magtaka kayo kung mabaliktad ang mga situations. Baka wala pang breastbud, nagme-mens na. Ano yun? Hindi pala mens, vaginal bleeding, baka may tumor siya. Or psychosis. So these are just some factors that would affect or influence your menarche, the first menses. Adiposity, if you have a lot of estrogen deposited in the fats, that's what will happen there. You might have an earlier menarche. But chronic illness, nutritional deficiencies, or stress factors, these may delay your menarche. So, peak height velocity. Females, usually SMR2 and 3. Ano ba yung SMR2? Females? Breast development. So, pwede ka na pumasok yun doon. And approximately mga 6 months before, menarche. So again, there's no stress, breast development, peak height velocity, and then menarche happens. Males, much later, you would have to enter SMR3 or 4 bago nagkaroon ng peak height velocity. When you were grade, say, 10 or 12, grade 10, age 10 or 12, anong grade kayo? Grade 4? Grade 4, 5, 6, ganyan. Some of you probably came from a co-ed. Meron ba mga co-ed dito? Ano nangyari sa inyo? Mga lalaki sa klase. 4, 5, grades 4, 5, and 6. Inabot niyo ba yung height nila o nilakpasan niyo ba? Hindi man nilakpasan, inabot, no? Or nagkapantay-pantay na kayo, dati mas malapit. Because you have an earlier peak height velocity. However, even if the males have a later peak height velocity, they continue to grow into 3 years after the females have stopped growing. And usually females stop growing by the age of 14. So yung adult height nyo probably na-reach nyo na by age 14, 15. However, the males continue to grow up to the age of 17, 18 years of age. Sana all. Hindi ako nakasama din eh. Okay, that's the height velocity. Then somatically, our growth is asymmetric. We first start to grow distally. So it's hands, feet, arms, legs, and then finally the trunk and chest. Papasok. From distal to central ang growth. So when you start to grow bigger hands, bigger feet. So there was a tendency for you to change probably shoe size within a year, or even twice within a year because of that. So can you imagine an adolescent, big hands, long arms, long legs, big feet, short trunk? Ano yung tsura nun? Awkward. That contributes to the awkward appearance of your adolescent. And because of this rapid increase in size of your hands and feet, it also makes that tendency, or makes you a bit more clumsy. So pwedeng madaling madapa. When you handle delicate things, you either drop it or you break it. That is what happens during the somatic growth. And there would also be some increase in lean body mass for males and deposition of fat for females. So during the adolescent period, the characteristic fat deposition for females happen. So it's more around the chest area, breast area, and around the hips. And for the males, it would be muscle development. So there is that bigger mass of muscle in the young adolescent. However, the strength of the muscle is still not mature. So may tinatawag tayo, if you know the term, banban. In Tagalog po, banban, meaning malaki, pero walang lakas. Because that would be the characteristic development. You would have muscle development first before strength comes in. And there would be a delay of about 6 months to a year before strength development happens. That's why in our practice, we usually do not advise, especially very young adolescents, to do weights. Kasi overestimate lang nila, and that may lead to injuries. So skeletal growth also has its negative effects. If you have that scoliosis happening early on, that will progress. So may progression yan. It is also very important to know that 50 to 65% of total body calcium is laid down during puberty. And this is a very important thing, especially for females. Kung di kayo nakapag-lay down ng calcium during your puberty years, that may have a lifelong effect later on. So bone growth precedes increase in bone mineralization and bone density. And that is why you also would be at risk for fractures and sprains. Hindi pa matitigas, stable ang bones, even if you are seemingly grown already. So cardiovascular changes, that would include an increase in heart size, blood pressure, blood volume, hematocrit, and lung vital capacity. If you would compare your athletic abilities during your adolescent years and compare it with your athletic abilities before your adolescent years, malaki ba ang difference? Okay. You can do more, you have more resistance, you can do more strenuous activities longer because you have a heart that is bigger, you have a lung that can accommodate more air to and the hemoglobin to oxygenate, giving oxygen to your tissue. So androgenic stimulation also happens. You have your sebaceous glands and autocrine glands, but this again leads to something that is negative most of the time for the adolescent age group, because that will result in either your acne or the body odor. So can you remember the first time that you made use of mga deodorants? Maaga ba o late? O napagsabihan na kayo bago kayo gumamit? You know? Rapid enlargement of the larynx, pharynx, and lungs may lead to voice changes in males. So for lay people, many of them will correlate puberty with the voice change. Pagka nag-deepen na yung voice, sabihin nila, pumipiyok na, binata na, which means, enter na ng puberty. Pero siguro paglabas nyo dito, hindi na ganun yung concept niya, with regards to the change in voice. The change in voice is brought about by this development, rapid enlargement of the larynx, pharynx. Elongation of the optic lobe. If you are initially at risk for myopia, magiging myopic ka talaga during your adolescent age group. So yung mga may eyeglasses dito, myopic pa kayo lahat. Hindi naman. Other changes, jaw growth. So this may lead to sometimes bite disturbances. Parang excessive jaw growth that may lead to, say, surgical correction. This is also the time that you lose your permanent teeth, your temporary teeth. So during the adolescent period, kahit na medyo na may premolars na kayo and molars, some of them may still be temporary. So physiologic patterns in sleep will affect your sleep requirements. So during the adolescent period, anong oras pa kayo natutulog noon? O gano'ng kahaba kayo natutulog noon, if you remember? Napagalitan na ba kayo ng parents nyo? Ayaw nyo gumising? Tanghali na? Hindi. Gising na kayo ng 6 o'clock. Sisipag nyo. Ay kasi may klase eh. How about Saturday and Sunday? Or summer vacation? Oras kayo nagigising nun. Because this is a physiological requirement, sleep. And the adolescent, as you are already seeing, is experiencing a lot of growth, physical growth, and that requires rest. So it's not a sign of laziness at times for the adolescent, because they are requiring a longer sleep, say 8 hours or 10 hours. That is only good. That is good for them. Pero syempre, this is something that we need to do something about, especially during school days. Neurologic development. In the early parts of the late parts of your childhood, there may be neurons and communications that are not being used, and this is pruned. So inaalis yan ng system natin, ng body natin. And there would be an increase in cerebral white matter due to increasing myelinization and subsequent facilitation of integrated brain activity and more efficient information transmission between different regions. So the white matter increases because of the myelination, and because of the pruning, the brain matter decreases intensity. There is also the asymmetric development of your brain, where the prefrontal and frontal lobes mature later. So what matures earlier in the adolescent age group? It would be the amygdala, the basal ganglions, the seat for emotion handling. Yun na nagde-develop early on compared to the development of the prefrontal and frontal lobes that is responsible for executive decision. So in our adult life, what we are making use of when we decide something will be more of your prefrontal and frontal lobes. Sa adolescent, this is influenced by stress factors because of your earlier development of the amygdala and the ganglions. So mas medyo na-modify yung decision natin based on these factors, emotional, stress surrounding us. Kaya ang bilis natin bumigay pagka may peer pressure. Even if we know that what we would be doing is something that is not good or dangerous, but we still do it. That is part of the risk-taking behavior of the adolescent. So the early maturation of the amygdala and other limbic structures may explain the strong role that social and emotional experiences play in our decision making. So poor decision making in highly emotional charged situations. Now, cognitively, when we were in grade school, early on, before the adolescent period, we learned things through what Piaget is calling concrete operational thinking. Ano ba yung concrete operational thinking? Do you have any idea? Siguro mga psychologists dito. Sige nga, next, educate me.
Concrete operational thinking, dito ko lang nakaroon ng wala ko pong construction students. Pero nakaka-intindi natin sila ng simulation.
Nakaka-intindi ng series, simulation.
A is greater than B.
structure. So it's more of what others would tell me is concrete operational thinking is something that we make use of very early on in education. So concrete nga daw kasi we have something that is tangible most of the time to educate us, or from where we learn. So we learn our counting by how? How did we learn counting? Sticks, fingers. Yung anak ko nga, kakount siya 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Eh hanggang 20. Galis yung sapatos. So concrete. Concrete operation. Something that we would do, make use of early on in our education. As mentioned, wala pang abstract thinking. Whereas in formal operational thinking or thought process, this is the abstract thinking. So yung example niya kanina, A is bigger than B and B is bigger than C. There's something that we are not seeing. That's, nothing is tangible about it. But we are able to process who is the biggest of the three. Sino nga ba? Okay. And then we have an enhanced capacity for verbal expression. Ano nangyari dahil sa capacity na meron tayo ability to be able to say what we are thinking. Adolescent kayo. Lahat ba na, especially during your middle and late adolescent years, baka hindi pa nung early middle and late adolescent, 14, 15, 16, 17. May nasabihan na ba sa inyo na sumasagot ka na? Sa parents nyo, it's answering back. But as far as you are concerned, you're merely listening out. Sa inyo, walang masama. Sa kanila, ano na, no? Offensive na. Hindi pa siguro masyado sa generation nyo. Medyo literal na ang parents nyo. But our generation is something else. Pag kami nag-uusap na matanda, hindi pa pwedeng usap. Halo. Sila lang. So whenever the adults are gathered, the children are out of the room most of the time. That's our generation. So cognitive development correlates with chronologic age. Do you agree? Very evident naman, chronologic age. Grade 1, 6 years old. Grade 2, 7, and so forth. Chronologic age. And that may be biologically determined. However, your psychosocial development is more correlated with your adolescent development, especially your SNR ratings or stages. So psychosocial development, more of the SNR stages. So as we mentioned, cognitive development for the early adolescent, they are still using the concrete operational thinking. Medyo immature pa yung prefrontal at saka frontal lobes of the brain. But they are able to do well in school. because of that. But they would now begin to develop formal operational thinking. So beginnings ng formal operation or beginnings of abstract thinking. However, during times of stress, since the amygdala and limbic systems are the ones that are more fully developed compared to your prefrontal, pagka stressful ang condition, they would regress to operate operational thinking. So mawawala yung abstract thinking sa kanila. And the early adolescent would now begin to have greater need for privacy. How did privacy issue manifest among you? Kasi pwedeng iba-iba how we would have dealt with our own privacy. Who among you, pre-adolescent, had their own rooms? May sarili na kayong kwarto. Ikaw lang na nandun. Panasin nyo. Iwala ako. But in some of these adolescents, dati bukas ang pinto. Bukas yan. During the adolescent years, early adolescent, they begin to close the door. Habang tumatagal, hindi lang nakasara, halakpan. And no one can enter without their permission. So kung wala kayong room noon, na sarili nyo, how did you deal with privacy with a sibling within the room? Paano ginawa nyo nun? Nag-away ba kayo dahil ginalaw yung gamit mo? Ganun ba? Hindi naman. Or, dati, mother mo, wala nang kuha ng cellphone, basa ng basa kung ano yung nandun, cellphone mo. Now, meron ng password. Kaso birthday lang pala yung password mo, inabusan din. So these are different ways by which privacy can come. Privacy can also be expressed by adolescents by merely being silent. Naging ganun ba kayo? Dati, lahat na nangyari sa eskwelahan, kapitbahay at everything, kinuwento na. Pero this time, wala. Silent. That's privacy. So there are different ways. So depende na lang sa inyo. Isipin nyo kung paano nag-manifest ang privacy ninyo. May barkada ba kayo early adolescent? May group of friends? Sinong mga group of friends mo? Kabaro niyo ba o hindi? Kasabahan niyo kasabihan sa amin. Kabaro, it's the same peer group. So kung babae ka, most of the time, kung babae nila ng grupo mo. Kung lalaki ka, boys, peer group. Same sex peer group for the early adolescent. But belonging is still very important. Importante pa rin ang peer group in the adolescent, early adolescent years. So cognitive development for the middle adolescent. So now you have continuing development with increased capacity of abstract thought, with feelings of sense of immortality and immunity to the consequences of risky behavior. Paano yun? Immortality, immunity. If you are engaging to something that is risky, nabanggit nyo ba sa sarili nyo, kaya ko yun? Kaya nila yan? That's the sense of immortality or immunity to consequence. That is again brought about by your brain development or cognitive development. During your late adolescent, so 17, 18 years old ka na niyan, you're now more future-oriented and able to delay gratification. You think more independently, and you would consider views of others and compromise. You have a stronger sense of self and would be more stable, especially with regards to your physical attributes. Moral development. So this generally parallels support cognitive development. So early adolescent, you have stronger sense of right and wrong. But in the middle adolescent and late adolescent, this is driven by a desire to be seen as a good person and behave accordingly to their place in society and care for others. That's why, especially during the late adolescent, madaling ma-convince mga late adolescents to do something that is for society, mostly. So very attractive sa kanila yung mga issues with regards to religion, politics, and some other things that are involved with the care for others. So they would have that rational conscience and independent system of values largely consistent with parental values. For the moral development, ang event dyan would be early adolescent, more or less you agree with your family's moral beliefs. You agree. Pagdating mo ng middle adolescent, you now try to go out of that and explore other moral values. That's why sometimes we have, we would develop yung mga ideal parents natin, ideal or ano bang tawag mo dun? Mga tinitingalang tao outside the family because you were trying to explore their moral values. But eventually, when you reach your late adolescent, you turn full circle. You go back. Medyo meron sigurong konting iba, pero generally, it would still be the family's value that you will hold to. So the psychosocial development, this correlates with your pubertal status and physical maturation, and this is subject to greater environmental, cultural influences, and cultural variations may be substantial. So this is non-linear development. Unlike the other developments, yung mga somatic development natin, these are linear. Sunod sila. But for the psychosocial development, it may be non-linear. And one particular issue that we deal with during the adolescent period would be the search for identity. When I say identity, what comes to mind? Kung sinabi kong, sino kayo? O sino ka? Anong sagot mo? Bumalik sa adolescent. Hindi naman yan something that will just pop out. It's a process that you go through your entire adolescent period. We are not aware of it, but it happened to us. So ngayon, sinabi kong, who are you? I do not expect the answer to be your name. I don't expect it to be, I am the son or daughter of so and so. But rather, you telling me what you like. What are your plans in the future? What are your goals? This would be your identity. Sino ka ngayon? Anong sexuality mo ngayon? Part yan ng identity mo. So, for the psychosocial development, there are different areas again that we need to go through. So, your relationships with the people around you, especially your parents and family. So, this would be the hallmark of adolescent development, your psychosocial development. So I've mentioned early on, early adolescent, you will be seeking for privacy already. And you will spend less time with parents, with your parents. Before your adolescent period, siguro, and every time your parents or mother or father would leave the house and they would want to bring you along, sama ka lang. No qualms, no questions, sama ka lang. During your adolescent period, ano nangyari? May lakad kami ng barkada. Kung pwedeng umiwas, iiwas. Especially so pagka ang pupuntahan, hindi mo talaga gusto. Bisita lang sa lolo. Ayaw mo bisita sa mga ibang anak, ayaw mo sumama because you would want to be available if your peer group would be calling on. So you would also reject, you would start to reject parental advice. You will have your own choices. Siguro before, you would have clothes bought for you and you just wear them. Ngayon, adolescent, ibilang ka ng damit, hindi mo sinuot even once because you don't want the style, don't want the color. You explore boundaries of independence and conceive an ideal parent and compare it with their parents. This is part of the moral development. And seek out alternative adult roles. So, how would exploring independence be? How would that manifest during this time? Hindi naman siguro 10 years old, party ka na mag-isa. Unti-unti lang naman. It would be something that done on a gradual basis. But at 10 years old, how did you express being independent? Or 5 years old, o kahit na mga grade 6 ka na, ano kayo naging independent? Dati, inaatid ka sa school, hanggang gate, o hanggang classroom, nahatid ka. Nung medyo naging adolescent ka na, 10 years old, ano nangyari? Papatid ka ba hanggang classroom? Or bababa ka na lang, ikaw na lang maglalakad? That's part of independence. It's very subtle, but still part of your being independent. Now, many of the conflicts that arise during your adolescent period, especially in the middle adolescent period, would be about separation from parents. That's the real issue, separation. Middle adolescent, nag-date na ba kayo? May mga nag-dating na ba kayo? Kahit naman di formal date, may ano lang, papaalam lang, lalabas. Sama ang barkada. Madali ba? Magpaalam. Hindi na nagpapaalam. Matakas na lang. Pero pagbalik mo, may issue, di ba? Bakit? Laging anong rason nila? Bakit nagagalit? Wala ka sa paningin nila eh. The parents are not in control of the situation. Wala ka dun sa bahay. Nag-separation. Pinaka-issue doon is the adolescent going out of the house. Not really about who they are with or how long they are out of the house. It's merely wala ka sa bahay. That's the main problem. That's why it's very hard na magpaalam during those times, middle adolescent. Pero nung late adolescent kayo, pag nagpaalam, mas madali na. Hindi pa rin. Ikit naman ng parents. Bawal pa. Kasi nagpa-party kayo, anong oras? 9 o'clock. Standard. I was educated there by my son before. Party namin maaga eh. 7, 8 o'clock. Kami nandun para. My son was still at home. 10 o'clock. Nagpaalam na nang may party siya. Ano oras ka alis? Tuloy ba yung party niya? Tuloy daw. Malis 10 o'clock. No? Ano oras ka uwi? Wala sa akin. Umaga. Mamaya. Basta mamaya. So, umaga na siguro. 10 o'clock. So, mga 1, 2 o'clock. Let's see. Sagot. Tapos, I ask, who are you with? So, pasama mo. Anong sagot? Anong sagot ko sa parents? Pati kami. Kaklase, kaibigan. Ito, sabi sa akin, sabihin ko man yung pangalan, di mo kilala. So, balik na naman sa akin, ano? So, adolescent, yun ang magiging problema niya pag pinagkaanak kayo. No, kwento mo lang, the experience ko, but these will be your problems. And I hope you will be able to understand where they're coming from now. Since pinaaral niyo ang adolescent development. Now, even if they have that conflict, no, child conflict, ito ang middle adolescent is what they call the stereotypical period of adolescence. If you have the conflict with your parents, yun ang sagutin, isipin nyo na lang. Early adolescent pa kayo, middle adolescent, or late adolescent. Ilang taon kayo, yung pinaka karoon kayo ng medyo matinding away ng parents mo. Ilang taon kayo nun? Middle? Because the middle adolescent is stereotypical. Anong age ba yun? 14, 15, 16, 17. But even if that conflict is there, many of the adolescents actually would go through this period relatively okay. No problema after. And even if that is present, parents would still remain the source of support and influence in the adolescent's decision making. So conflict coexists with strong emotional bonds and closeness. Tama ba? Nangyari? mga inaaway ang parents, mas closer to kayo o hindi. So, pagka hindi, sabihin, hindi na-resolve yung problema. Late adolescent. So, this is the time that you are more of an adult type of relationship with your parents. You can talk to them as an adult already. Hindi na kayo i-judge na sumasagot ka na by this time. Pwede nyo na kwentuhan. Okay. With regards to the peer group, the peer group becomes increasingly important during parental separation. So nag-uumpisa yan early adolescent. So early adolescent, that's why we have a peer group. Although as we have characterized earlier, the peer group in early adolescent is composed mostly of the same sex. Male, male, female, female. Pagdating na middle adolescent, medyo mix, pwedeng mix na yan. It's not wrong to have the same-sex peer group pa rin. Especially so if your social activity revolves around school, tapos lahat naman kayo puro lalaki doon o puro babae. Di syempre ang composition ng peer group mo same-sex. So that's okay. And in the peer group, the sense of belonging is important. Bakit? Ano ba ibig sabihin ng belonging? You have common interests. Diba? You more or less would want same things. So you belong to that group. So just imagine if you have a peer group, ang attire nila hip-hop, tapos ikaw formal. Parang hindi talaga bagay, ano? So, that's part of being in the peer group. So, females peer group would center more on relationship-oriented. Most of the times, yung mga magkakagada, magka-close talaga emotionally. But for males, it is more of activity-centered. So, mas madalas, kung ano yung interest mo, yung activity mo, sila din yung ka-peer group mo. So, middle adolescent peer group becomes more important. So, mas intense ngayon. Peer group association in the middle adolescent. And you experiment with being part of a different group. Meaning, even if you started with a peer group, one peer group, say, beginning school, you may have 2 or 3 others na peer group before the year ended. That's different peer group. You're experimenting, you're trying to look into the different peer groups, what the peer group would fit you more, and where you would belong. Because belonging is still very important in the peer group during the middle adolescent years. Conformity and peer pressure exist. So kung lahat hip-hop tapos ikaw lang yung formal, siguro mape-pressure ka na maging hip-hop. In the late adolescent years, you would now have a more stable identity. So pinagdaanan mo na yung mga ayaw mo, yung gusto mo, ano yung mga choices mo, even your sexuality more or less, you are more mature at this time. You might not have professed it kung ano yung sexuality mo, but within you, alam mo na kung ano. Cognitive skills enable them to choose their peer group who best reflect who they are. So sexual awareness and interest. So early adolescent, you have increased interest. You may have like focused sexual you may be focused on sexual anatomy. Why is that so? Early adolescent, 10 years old, 11, 12, bakit ka medyo concerned with sexual anatomy? Talaga bang dirty-minded? It's not. It's more of being curious. This is, remember, this is the first time that this is happening to you. You do not know what is normal. You do not know what is abnormal during that time. And it is normal for a early adolescent girl or boy to compare themselves with the other. Kung sino man yan. Masturbation and other sexual exploration are common, but romantic relationship would lack emotional depth. So, there was a study, kung matanda ako kung sino author, with regards to early partnership. So how young were they during those times? And they found out that the younger that you are is inversely related to how long they stay together. So kung mas bata, nagsiseparate early on until they are in their late adolescent years. So middle adolescent, there is increasing sexual curiosity and experimentation can be seen. Sexual orientation may become clear to some. And dating continues to emphasize more on sexual attraction. So still it lacks depth. Sexual attraction focus of the dating for middle adolescent. They are trying to test how attractive they are to the opposite sex at the time because of dating. But for late adolescent, there is now emotional intimacy during relationship, and the relationship would increasingly involve love and commitment. So mas mature na with regards to this. Body image. Early adolescent, there is a rapid change in physical appearance. You would have questions whether these changes are progressing rapidly. So, if you are an adolescent in your early adolescent years, and then, ano mangyayari sa inyo? You may have puberty happening, the first stages of puberty. You may have development of your sebaceous glands, your apocrine glands at that time. For males, probably facial hair, body hair. And you're all so curious with regards to this. So, were there times na you are accused of excessive grooming or staying in the bathroom longer than you should kasi wala ka nang tigil-tigil sa katitingin sa salamin? Nagkaroon ka ng isang acne o tigyawat, hindi mo na malaman kung anong gagawin mo doon. And it takes a lot of time for that, for your grooming. So for middle adolescent, there is the preoccupation where the adolescent is attractive to others. It's part of the dating system. And the late adolescent, you now would shift balance to introspection with less emphasis on external characteristics. The timing of pubertal changes. Now, for male adolescent, progression of pubertal changes be associated with a positive image. So self-image mo mas positive. if you have a normal progression of your pubertal changes. And for early maturing males, they usually would have greater self-confidence so in socially, even academically. But for late maturing males, they would have lower self-esteem. For females, progression of pubertal changes may initially be perceived negatively. Sa baligtad naman for females. Early maturing females usually would have perceived pubertal changes negatively. They would have decreased self-esteem. They would be vulnerable to poor decisions when exposed to high-risk situations. Why is that the case? Mas early nagmamature ang females compared to males. And if you mature, let's say 12, 13, 14 years of age, and then you are given tasks that requires an adult to decide on, paano na yun? Well, when in fact, your executive function, your prefrontal and frontal lobes are not yet well developed. So you're bound to fail when, even for males, they are usually bound to fail when expectations are so much for them. Kasi hindi kasi ganun makakasya. Adolescent risk-taking behavior. So, I will stop there. But you can think about this. Is the adolescent risk-taking behavior something that is good? Or is it really something that is bad? Anyway, we'll try to answer that next time.